So related, tagging on to what he said, is I have this frame of reference. I know I'm not the body. I know I'm not the mind. Yet I seem to have this perceiver of this that has a reference. And that seems to be evidence that consciousness is here, in this body, in this perceiving thing. And I'm trying to see what do I do to dispute that? To show that this is not evidence.
Yes, but what I don't understand is how it is evidence. For instance, I can understand that what we see is perceived through the eyes. That is not in contention. That these images are transmitted to the brain through the optical nerve, no problem. And that the brain processes these images. For instance, that the image on the retina is upside down, and the brain just rotates it by 180 degrees, and I have no problem with that. What is the reality that perceives? Is the human body a reality unto itself? Even if we make the assumption, right, that consciousness is an emergent property of this human body. Well, this human body doesn't exist in separation, in and by itself. For myself, as a physicist, you see, I see quantum fields, the electronics fields, the electrons, the gluons, the mesons, the neutrinos, the quarks. They are dancing. It's a dance, it's a ballet, it's a universal ballet. So, consciousness is therefore an emanation from this universal ballet. And therefore, it is the reality, the universal reality that does the perceiving. I am not saying that there is no local entity through which the perceiving takes place. It's obvious that there are such local entities with eyes and brains. But what I am saying is that the reality that does the perceiving is universal. Because the human body is not a reality unto itself.
So then, consciousness is not a reality unto itself,
No.
within the limited concept of objects.
No. The reality is that once we have understood that our real identity is consciousness, right? The question is our real identity this body-mind? Or is it bigger than that? The moment we move beyond the borders of the body-mind, the notion of a separate entity collapses. There has never been a separate entity. To take an analogy, it's like, I take the analogy with the internet. And let's assume someone asks the question, where is the internet located? It's the same. Where is consciousness located? Someone could say, oh, the internet is located here, in this computer. It's connected. Right? But even if the computer, which is a node, whatever, is switched off, the internet doesn't disappear. The mistake we made is to conceive consciousness as being a local phenomena and an emergent property of a human body. And we did that because we denied consciousness reality. So the first thing is to understand that there is an element of reality which belongs to consciousness. In other words, we know that we are not making it up, that there is consciousness. And we know that, for instance, if we dream or if we hallucinate, whatever is perceived is an illusion, but nevertheless, that the consciousness of this illusion is real. In other words, that consciousness is at least as real as whatever it perceives. You see, we have deprived consciousness for the reality that belongs to it. I'm just trying to give it back to consciousness. Because if consciousness were an illusion, how could we possibly be certain of anything? That which is an illusion cannot perceive reality. How could it be possible? Only reality can perceive reality. So an illusory consciousness could not possibly perceive the real.
So consciousness is real. I tend to use the word awareness if it feels more.
Well, fine, I don't have any.
It's real. It's for lack of a better word, an aspect of reality. I just don't get past the localized part.
Well,
I don't know how to conduct the experiment to show that there's no evidence that it's localized.
you don't need an experiment. You have to bring the evidence that it is localized. And scrutinize it. Let me try to help you with the global argument, if you will, the nuclear argument, right? Whatever appears in consciousness cannot give us any information about consciousness. Would you agree with that?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Because whatever appears in consciousness doesn't perceive consciousness. Right? In order to get some information about consciousness, we need to see it. We need something that can see consciousness, to say consciousness is red, or consciousness is round, or consciousness is big, or consciousness is small. Right? Now, that which is seen by consciousness doesn't see consciousness. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Yes.
Therefore, that which is seen by consciousness, I call it the content of consciousness. Therefore, the content of consciousness cannot give us any information on consciousness.
Consciousness can't be less than what it sees.
Consciousness can be...
I just had this sense of consciousness cannot be anything less than what it perceives. What it perceives is within consciousness. So all of this is within consciousness.
I am saying, I'm trying to say something a little bit different. I'm trying to say that whatever, that the content of consciousness cannot give us any information on consciousness.
It can only give us information about the content, not about
Yes.
not about the background.
The content is whatever it is. You see a yellow flower.
So the experience of me turning my whole body around and seeing this whole world around me doesn't tell me anything about me.
Right.
It tells me about what is seen.
Right.
To some extent.
Right. But what I've said is even more general than that, as you understand. Is that nothing that we perceive phenomenally, objectively, can give us any information about consciousness. Yeah.
Oh, wow. It's a whole subset. Holy cow. Oh. Thank you. I feel released. Don't know how long that'll last, but I feel released.